Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the Other 99%, every seller matters. Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of the Other 99%. I'm so excited to have my friend here, Amber. Amber and I have again met in the academy. It sounds like it's like the same story over and over every time I start these podcasts, but I just, a big shout out to the academy because it truly has opened my eyes to networking. So, and Amber and I are working pretty closely right now on some very cool cool holiday projects. So I just want to introduce Amber, or let Amber introduce herself, I should say. So Amber, jump in and tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and all that stuff.
First of all, you sound super duper professional. It's kind of funny. You're like super professional. Um, I'm Amber Gurlio, but nobody can say Gurlio, so it's just Amber G. It's much, much easier. Nor can they spell it, so it's okay. Um, I'm Lord, I don't know. I'm in Ohio, which is in the middle of nowhere, down by Cincinnati, where nobody knows. Um, I've been in direct sales since 2016. I'm married. I have teenagers. I have a 19-year-old who almost 20 in February and a 16-year-old who'll be 17 in April.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married to my high school sweetheart. As cliche and dumb and geeky as that sounds, we've been together since our junior year of high school.
So cool.
Um, so yeah,
And I know you have a doggy.
I do. He's back there chewing. He's new. He's a new dog. I don't know why in the world, but yeah, we have another dog and a cat. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're busy. My husband is also in law enforcement. So, and he has been for 22 years now. We only have 3 more years left and then he'll retire, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a different lifestyle. It's not a normal lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
He also has his own tree trimming, removal, landscaping business on the side.
Yes, I see you. I see you all covered in like tree stuff all the
Yeah.
time on social, and I'm like, oh my God, I could not do that.
Yeah. Well, that's what when we got together when he was 17, that's what he started doing. He was in outdoor education and doing trees and stuff like that. But then um he like there's just like really crappy people who work in that type of business.
Mm-hmm.
So when he hit a certain point, he just left it and he went into the patrol. And then he needs something to do when he retires because he doesn't really want to work for a boss, when he
Mm-hmm.
retires. So
Mm-hmm.
we're back in it again. And yep, I run a chainsaw, I run a chipper, a tractor. Uh,
Yeah, I see you covered in like wood chips, and I'm like, no, that would make me so itchy.
yep.
I remember one post where you were saying that you had like the pine sap everywhere, and
Oh,
I'm like, oh my God, that would
oh.
I can't even get like maple syrup on my fingers because then I start gagging. But there's a little behind the scenes about Lisa. All right, so tell us a little bit about your direct sales journey. So, how long did you say you were in direct sales?
I joined end of September of 2016.
Cool, cool. And I mean, Sensi has been your only direct sales
Yeah.
company. So what
Yes.
brought you into the world of Sensi?
A friend of a friend posted a law enforcement warmer. I had never even heard of the company before ever. And they posted a law enforcement warmer. And I purchased the warmer strictly as decoration because I was a candle chick and I was like, I didn't know what Scentsy was. I
Mm-hmm.
just bought it to put it in our house because it was a law enforcement item. And the chick I bought it from was like, messaged me and chatting with me. And she was really kind. She sent me a mini warmer and bars because I was like, I don't know anything about this company. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
just bought this thing because it was what it was. And I went ahead and I placed an order because, I felt obligated, because she had sent me a warmer and bars. So I was like, crap,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta buy something. And I bought a mini warmer and bars. And I'll be honest, I don't know why I joined. I know that sounds really terrible, but I truly
But
don't.
it's
I don't.
honest. It's
It is.
honest.
It is. It's 100% honest. I have no idea. Like I blacked out kind of deal and I joined. Um, And I remember thinking everybody and their grandma sells something. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to throw up, like, no joke. A true story. I was like, I'm going to throw, and I spent like $50. Like, it wasn't even anything. And I thought I was going to throw up. And then I told my husband, and I don't know why, but the story is I took him into our pantry, and I have absolutely no idea why the pantry, but I was like, babe, I got to talk to you. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I was like, you got to come in here. And he was like, why do I have to come in
Why?
here? And I was like, I don't know. You just come in here. And I told him, and he was like, well, how much did you spend? And I said, I spent like $50. He's like, you've blown $50 on a lot of other stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, my only request is don't be like all of those other sellers. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
time, um, a makeup company had just started, and everybody and their grandma was doing those get ready with me posts.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, they were everywhere all over Facebook. And it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And that was, he said, that's my only request. He's like, just don't be like everybody else. He's like, don't be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. Um, yeah. I mean, it's not an I didn't need money. I'm not saying that to brag. Right? It was, I literally blacked out and signed up.
Yeah.
That
But
was it.
I mean, 2024, almost 2025, and you're still here.
I am. Yeah.
So you obviously found your passion in the
Yes.
business once you jumped in, right? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
I 100% thought I was going to fail. I planned on failing. I planned on it not working. Um, I never had any intention of it working, not even in the slightest, tiniest little bit. It was going to end. And um, at that time, we had certain sales requirements for so many months. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And um, I was for sure like, that was it. That was going to be done. And here I am. Yep. I'm still here. I've earned every trip since I've started. I have earned every award since we've started. Um, I have a team, which is weird. Um, yeah,
Do you know
but
what
here
clicked? Like, can you think of back to something that, you know, was it that you started sharing the product and you realized that people actually liked it and you
I'm
weren't being
stubborn.
salesy,
I'm
right?
stubborn is what it is. And I didn't
Okay.
want to fail. I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to just quit.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, is I'm stubborn and I haven't given up yet. I know this
Yeah.
sounds really dumb, but that's truly what it
No.
is. I don't pay attention to numbers. Probably should, but I don't. Like, I can't because it'll get too wrapped up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll think I'm failing. So you just don't look at numbers, and don't look at, you don't get wrapped up in those things, and you just keep trucking no matter what. No
Just do
matter,
your thing. Just
yeah,
keep
I'm
doing your
just,
thing.
yeah. And people have asked me that before, like, what clicked? I have no idea. I'm just stubborn and I haven't quit yet.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact because I work closely with you through the Modern Direct
Mhm.
Seller Academy with Oh My High, your
Mhm.
website. And I always say it's like, put something out there and Amber will have it done 2 minutes later because you just like boom, 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 go and take action and it's done. So tell the listeners a little bit about what you've accomplished on your own website and sort of why you even feel like you need your own website because Sensi provides you with a
Mhm.
website, right?
Yep.
So dig a little bit into that.
Um, Past life, I was actually a licensed massage therapist, and I had my own website. I knew the value of it. It paid for itself countless times, countless, countless, countless times. I created my own website. I actually used Wix. That's what I used when I did it before, and created it from scratch way back in 2009. And I knew the value. Matter of fact, I still literally today, I had to close my business in 2013 due to medical reasons.
Hmm.
Today, I literally still get a phone call today asking to book a massage. I still to this day get
Yeah.
phone calls. So I knew the value of having my own site. As a direct seller, it seems scary and stupid, honestly. It just
Hmm.
seems kind of dumb because why would you? Um, and it took me a little while. I'll be honest, the first thing is Facebook is wonky, and Facebook, that's where the majority of us market our business.
Hmm.
And Facebook will start blocking your links. You can't use them because it's always the same thing over and over and over and over. And then it's not just you sharing, it's you and 3,000 other people are sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
So to get around, and it's always something long. Do you know what I mean? It's never something little, it's always long,
Mm-hmm.
hard to remember. And that was the first reason I did it, was because I was like, okay, I need something that's smaller. Sure, I could use a shortened link or something like that, but even those are weird looking
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So that was the original reason, was I knew I needed something. But I also know, I know a little too much, that to get searchable, like in Google, and to broaden that range of audience, your site has to communicate with other sites. You
Mm-hmm.
have no control over that when it's your company's site. There's no way for you to make your site communicate with other sites, work with other people, things like that. And I know the value of that. And the only way to do that is to create your own site and link it to your site, because then you're communicating between two sites, linking it to Pinterest and Instagram, and linking it to all of these different other reputable locations
Mm-hmm.
make you look better when it comes to a Google search. And we all know that we need to get our business off of Facebook and have some longevity. And that's what I needed. That's what I wanted. So that was why I started my Oh My High site.
Yeah. And I love it because you're doing your blog posts and you're
Mhm,
sharing like customer newsletters or like
mhm.
monthly specials, let's say, through
Yep.
your blog posts, which is awesome because you have a group of people and like you said, an easy to remember and an easy to direct them to URL that you just send out. And it's like, hey, that's Amber's URL. Like I know
Yep.
that's Amber's website. Here I go. And it's a trustworthy website, right? So it's
Mhm.
not like you said, it's not like one of these um bit.ly shortened
Right.
URLs that it's like, oh, okay, well, this is weird.
I
Should
mean,
I
they're
push it
handy.
or
Right. It
yeah.
is handy to use. I mean, but they do look funny. They do look weird.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right. So I mean, by the time this episode airs,
Mhm.
our little project that we've been working on will be out of the bag. So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about that. What share with the listeners what we have coming because I'll put a link in the show notes to our handy
Okay.
dandy gift guide. So
Well, you guys invited me to participate with y'all, to make a really cool gift guide, kind of like to stop one stop shopping. And it's food and it's Scentsy and it's jewelry and bags and nails and spa products and cooking utensils. It's everything that you could almost possibly need for a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people on your shopping list. And
mhm.
it's all in one place, which is super handy. And then the fun part, and it's kind of tricky, is the gnomes. Oh my gosh, like I sat for a good minute looking. You hit them really good. There's like fun little gnomes hidden in there. When you click the gnomes, there's giveaways. And
Yeah, and just remember though, the giveaways are only
yes,
available from November the 18th to the
to the 21st.
21st of
Yeah,
2024.
yes.
So if you're listening to this episode after that fact, that you're still welcome to click the links in the guide and see what everybody has to offer, but the giveaways are only during that time. And
And
I'll
still
put
trying to
that
find the gnomes.
yeah, but I'll put that little caveat that,
Yes,
like our intention is not to solicit customers of already existing ambassadors or consultants from the other
right.
sites. We're using this to basically branch out. So basically, my customer base is being introduced to your product, your
Yep.
customer base is being introduced to my product, and we have a total of 9 of us working together. So I mean, I don't know how many people are on. I have like probably over 1,000 people on my list. And you have quite a few, and I'm sure Susan and Hillary and
Right.
Sammy. And it's like, so I can't even we should get a total. We should honestly get a total of
How many
people
people
that
went out to?
yeah, that it went out to because it would be kind of interesting to know, with one click of a button. So this is where we can go on to a tangent about email marketing.
Right.
because what we decided to do with this gift guide is sort of take our always do some sort of holiday event, but it's typically on Facebook. So we decided to take this event off of Facebook, and
Mhm.
that's where the email and the gift guide came into things. So yeah, on another episode in the future, I should really break those numbers down and let people know, like, okay, with one click of the button, it went out to X number of people, and this is the results we've seen. Because I keep hearing people say that email marketing is dead, and I just
Yeah.
giggle. I just
I hear it
giggle.
all the time. Like I try to tell my team that, and they're like, why would I email somebody?" I'm like, because it's
Yeah.
like, just do it. Just do it.
It's like, yeah, okay, email might not be cool, but it's effective. So
Right.
and we also put a different spin on it because there is a social media
Mhm.
campaign with it. There is we're doing blogs with it. Like
Yep.
we're hitting all of the things, and it should be interesting the results that we're going to see from this. And not to mention, and I mean, I'm not saying this because I created it, but the gift guide is absolutely beautiful.
It's stunning. It's very, very professional.
You guys did a great job on your pages, and it just all came together. And yeah, it just worked out so well. And when I finally get it done into the flip guide, I'm like, wow, this looks like it went through and was done by professionals.
It does. It's very, very pretty. I mean, because sometimes when you make things in Canva, they look like a kindergartner art project, and you don't
Yeah.
mean for it. It just does because it's hard sometimes. It looked great, even though there was two different designs for the two pages.
Hmm.
It still flowed very well together,
Hmm.
despite some of us using one set and some of us using another set. It still looked like it went very, very well together.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was beautiful.
yeah. I think the
I'm
key was
excited.
keeping the color theme all the same, right? That was
I
the
know.
the biggest thing. But
You
yeah,
did
so
good.
I'm excited for that, and make sure you check in the description of this podcast, and or the show notes, whatever you want to call it. The link will be there. We're super excited to share it. So
I mean, and
now,
it's when text, it'll be email, it'll be social media, it'll be stories, it'll be reels, Instagram, blog posts. It'll go in my newsletter and that I do every week. So yeah, I mean, it's just from me alone, like it's going to go to all of those places. And
hmm
that's just for me, let alone everybody, all the other 8 people who are doing it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. This is crazy. And I mean, it did, considering the fact that, there was a lot of components. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there was a ton of components, but um next year I can see us continuing something like this next year because it just flowed so seamlessly.
Yeah.
It like all came together.
I mean, we could use the same, change some colors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change some colors, but I mean, overall, it could be the bones of it is set up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So anyway, if anybody wants to take a look at it, go check it out because it is just awesome, and there's so many gift ideas to take a look at. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to ask you
Mhm.
one thing about your business. What do you think your superpower? What are you really good at in your business?
Besides being stubborn, is organizing. I'm a very scheduled, organized person. I think it just comes, one, it comes from past childhood trauma, but two, it also comes from, oh, my life is crazy. My husband, sure, he has a schedule, but here's the deal: people die and he doesn't get off at work at the right time. And he has court. And with 2 kids, my our schedules are quite wild.
Hmm.
And one thing that I'm very big on is my business has to run even if I am not running or I am busy. My business needs to run smoothly. So I'm extremely scheduled and extremely organized, planning ahead, um, scheduling posts, scheduling reels, scheduling everything, thinking ahead. Most generally, by about the 10th of the month, I'm already focused on the next month. This month is done. I'm done with it. I'm not touching it anymore, except for just the normal stuff. I'm already focused on the next month, which is odd, but it just, it's how I have to work. I have to have my business settled so that when the rest of my life is crazy, it's okay. Like that's the one thing that's going to run all on its own.
What do you use to schedule? Like, do you have use like an app or something like that?
No, I use Facebook scheduling for all of my posts.
Me
And
too.
then Instagram Reels, you can schedule those.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, you can schedule your shorts. Reels and shorts are the same thing. I schedule all of my YouTube shorts and schedule those ahead of time. Um, then I do use the Oh My High to schedule out emails and schedule out blog posts. Um, Schedule text. I use Project Broadcast to schedule text. So if it can be scheduled, don't ask me to do anything in today because it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to get done. Ask me today to do something in a week, it will get done. Like if you need it a week from now, I got you. But if you need
Yeah.
it today, I don't have you. Like
Yeah.
I can't do anything today
Well,
that
I'm
needs to be
like
done
you.
today.
I like I wish I could plan out as far as you do because then I might not feel so frazzled all the time. But um I'm totally with you in using the native scheduler for everything. I mean, I don't really pay for something that I could do for free.
Yes,
I mean, I
100%.
I only
Yes.
pay for apps that are going to move my needle forward. I don't need to pay for apps that are going to be dangling some fancy thing in front of me.
And I'm here to
Um,
make money.
yeah,
As shallow as that sounds, I am here to make money.
yeah.
And I don't want to spend all of my money. I understand, like, yes, sometimes it's worth it, but sure, if I have to take an extra step and schedule on my business page and then reschedule something else in my VIP group, I'm going to take the two extra steps to do it
Hmm.
because it's just it's not easier, but it just to me it makes more sense than paying for an app that's going to do it for me. Like,
Yeah. Now, I'm not bashing, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing any apps
no,
and there are some great ones out there like Share and stuff like
right,
that. But I just find that I d taking the time to put the stuff in there to get it
mhm.
out just takes more energy out of me
And to
than it
learn another
is
thing.
and then yeah, and then I mean I could just input it directly, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste,
Yep.
sort of momentum all the way down the road. And I love boards. So I mean if I have all my content in boards, then I don't need another app because I could just house everything there and it's like evergreen. It's there if
Right.
I need it again. And yeah, so but everybody has their
Oh
own
yeah.
way of doing things. But I love the fact that you say you use native schedulers too,
Yeah.
because I thought I was the only one out there doing that.
Nope. Nope. Matter of fact, I just sat down today and I scheduled a couple posts today. And yeah, I do everything in in it. And yeah, I schedule Instagram. I don't schedule Instagram posts because those are funky, but I do schedule all of my reels.
Hmm.
Um, and scheduling on Facebook on your personal page, that's weird too, because if it's linked to Instagram, it doesn't schedule it. It just posts it right away.
Yeah.
So there's some hiccups there, but I mean, other than that, no, I just try to keep things really, really simple and easy because I mean, everybody talks about the newest thing and best thing, greatest thing, and then everybody runs to it and everybody's using it. And I'm like, why? Like if
Hmm.
it's working, why is everybody running to everything else? Just use it and just use what you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I want to know because I'm curious, and I'm sure listeners are curious too, just by hearing what you're talking about. How do you currently run your business? Like, what do you do events? Do you do parties? Or you just do online stuff? Tell us.
I'm whatever that word is. I'm that word, digital. Um, I'm not good at events. I wish I was. I've never had good luck at it, and I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's the event. I don't know what it is, but I've done enough of them that it's going to sound. Here's my thing, okay? I 9 times out of 10, I'm sitting at home in my pajamas with no bra on. That's my life, okay? I can sit at home in my pajamas with no bra on and make as much money as I did at an event
Hmm.
with a lot less effort. Some people do great at them. I do not. I wish I did. I do not. Um, Home parties, when I started, they were like, just a tiny, tiny bit. I haven't had a home party since like 2017. I'm not opposed to it,
Hmm.
but we got to talk first. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't just going to randomly come to some stranger's house and we're going to have a party. Like, it's going to be somebody I know, we're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I most generally do like what used to be called an old school like catalog party, like back
Mm-hmm.
way back in the day, where you would take a catalog to work, people would order, and you would send the order forms back to your consultant kind of deal. Like that has been what really, really works for me is I will send you with some samples and some testers. I'll send you with a little bag of goodies. I will send you with a catalog. I will send you with some order forms. And I tell you, share it with your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends, your family, the bum on the corner if he's got money. Share it with everybody. Fill out the order forms so that you all can do one big bulk order to save on shipping.
Yep.
And that's what has really, really worked for me. I do Facebook, but I'm a firm believer that since COVID happened, it kind of killed Facebook parties. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big believer in that. I know that people are trying to resurrect them, but I I'd rather stab myself in the eye than do a Facebook party, if I'm gonna be honest.
And have you had any luck with like scroll parties on your website?
I have found a lot of customers find them confusing because they're like, what is this? And why do I click here? And then it goes to another site. Like that has been what some of mine have said. But what I have liked is I do an RSVP page.
Mm-hmm.
Click the RSVP page so that I'm going to get your address and everything so I can send you samples. Then the RSVP then sends them to my regular shopping link for that host.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be better. And then it's also because, as we all know, some hosts just suck. I'm sorry if you've ever been a host anywhere, but some of them suck. And this also kind of gives you an idea of, is your host doing any work? Because if
Mm-hmm.
you get zero RSVPs, then you're like, did you do anything with it? So
Yeah.
it kind of gives you that little like way to see if they're doing anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that has worked. But scroll parties, I wish they had worked. But
Yeah.
the feedback I have gotten is they just seem kind of
And
confused.
I honestly, I feel like you just need to find your way of doing a scroll party
Mhm.
because a scroll party could be so many things and maybe your version of the scroll party isn't linking here, there, and everywhere. Maybe it is just a landing page on your website that has a sort of like a mini video party that you do sharing like maybe your top three products or something like
Right,
that. And then click here for the information down below on how to shop them.
right.
Right? Maybe it's a simplified version. Like maybe that's something you got to try because I'm a firm believer that scroll parties will work if you find your words, your way to present them. And
Right.
you don't necessarily have to have a website to do it, even though a website is kind of cool. But you can do them on Canva, you can do
Yep.
them on boards, you can do them all over the place. And again, you're just not relying on Facebook and the Facebook algorithms to, get the stuff out there. And I love what
Well,
you
not
said about the
only
RSVP page because that's so key.
not only that, it's like, okay, so say you have a host and they have 50 friends. If only 25 of them are on Facebook, you've
Mm-hmm.
alienated those other 25 people if you don't give them any other option.
Mm-hmm.
So why grandma probably don't have Facebook, or if she does, she doesn't know how to use it right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just the facts. So and you're not Facebook friends with everybody. My husband is a big believer in like he's like, if I would not invite you in my house, I'm not Facebook friends with you. So why would you shorten your audience? Why would you only be like, I only want to let these people shop? Like
Mm-hmm.
have it available for everybody. And we
Yeah.
all have customers who are on Facebook. So if you only have Facebook parties, then what? Those people can never ever host? That's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you use other ways too, like Project Broadcast. I'm sure you've
Mhm.
done text parties and all
Yep.
that stuff. So
Oh yeah, I feel like I've done every party style that you could come up with. Yes.
awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, but you're not off the hook yet because I always ask all the guests to give
Mhm.
either your favorite quote or some words of advice that you've heard over your years in the direct sales field that you think every direct seller should hear.
Keep trucking Act like a million people are watching you, a million people are liking your post, a million people are commenting, and you're making $1 million. Always act like that, because if you get too wrapped up in those numbers, which we've all done it, I only have 5 likes, nobody
Mm-hmm.
commented. It doesn't matter. It really, truly doesn't matter. And if you get stuck in that mindset, take a minute and think, do you comment and like every single post that you like? And the answer to that is probably no.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, don't expect everybody to like and comment on yours. Just keep going.
Awesome. I know people are going to definitely resonate with that. So thank you again for joining us, Amber. And I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of the other 99%. And we will see you again next week. Take care.
Bye.
This episode of the Other 99% podcast has been brought to you by Spice It Up with Lisa Duck. If you're struggling with the question of what's for dinner, let Epicure help you put quick, delicious, family-friendly meals on the table in 20 minutes or less. Learn more about what Epicure has to offer. Visit spiceitupwithlisaduck.com. And if you're new to Epicure, be sure to use promo code EPIC15 in your cart at checkout for 15% off your entire first order. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would take a minute to rate and review the podcast, I would absolutely love it. And if you know someone who really needs to hear this podcast, please feel free to share it with them. More listeners, the better. And if you know someone who would like to be a guest on the podcast, or you yourself would like to be a guest, be sure to check the link in the show notes or visit lisaduck.com and click Be a Guest. We'll talk to you soon.